But the hate for one guy because he loves this country so much.
He loves the country.
Bullshit. He does.
God, you're a fool.
How am I a fool? How am I a fool? You have Trump derangement syndrome. You just hate him. You just hate the guy.
You are taken
American
in by
patriot.
a con man.
No, I'm not. I guess
he
what?
Loves
I'm
the
not
country.
a Republican.
Trump loves the country.
You damn right he does. He's been saying it since the 80s, 90s on Letterman and all these shows.
He's a guy on September 11th who went down, said he was down there. He wasn't. He's a guy who called in on a radio. He said, now I got the tallest building in Lower Manhattan. He's a guy who lied about Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City. He is a con man. He is a liar.
Patrick Bet David brought on this woke guest that you see on the screen here and absolutely destroyed him here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel. This is one of the more heated debates that I have ever seen from the PBD podcast. And Patrick Bet David himself got very heated with this woke guest because of just how bad faith and how woke his arguments were getting. Let's get into this clip here where Patrick Bet David and his co-host as well, Vinny Oshana and the others, kind of piled on this guy for how ridiculously woke he was being here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel.
Steve, you lose credibility when you say 2,977 people died is less of an event than one person dying on J6.
That's not.
When you say that, you've already.
That's not. You're manipulating what I said, twisting it. What I said was January 6th was a more severe attack on the United States. September 11th had more casualties. There's a difference.
How do you measure work?
What are these, dude? I know that we all know that TDS is a real thing. Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. We all know that. But it blows my mind how much more real it gets, and to see the effects of how insane TDS is and all these people, it has broken so many people's brains. And this is not an exclusive thing to just the left wing, by the way. I think the right wing, they don't have TDS, obviously, because most of them, at least don't hate Trump. But the right has like the COVID thing that I think has broken a lot of people's brains. But the left, like with this TDS stuff, man, it's so sad to see. None of them have any sort of common sense left. None of them have any sort of rationale left in their brains when it comes to any political topic. None of them can speak on it intelligently or unbiased. They're all just so partisan and so emotionally charged with everything that they do or say when it comes to Donald Trump. Even things that are completely irrelevant, unaffected by Donald Trump. They just can't stop thinking about the guy. It's so sad to see. Their brains are broken.
First, there's got to be data. You said you're a data guy. Data says one event we lost nearly 3,000 people. One event we lost one.
We lost.
The average person, they're going to say, of course, 3,000 is going to be worse.
Because I guess I'm counting the 600,000 that died in the American Civil War, and I'm counting the 405,000 that died in the Second World War, and I'm counting the 50,000 that died in the Korean War, and I'm counting the 58,000 that died in the Vietnam War, and I'm counting the acts of sacrifice that go back to 1776 that were desecrated on that day, incited by a single man who assaulted the Constitution of the United States. We were attacked by a foreign enemy on September 11th of 2001. The casualties were horrendous, as they were on December 7th of 1941, but the attack on January 6th was more severe also than the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Well, some would call it attack, but from the videos that we saw, Steve, from Twitter and just undercover cameras, it didn't look like an attack. If somebody
what are you talking about?
I'm just talking about all the videos that we've seen, the undercover.
What do you mean all the videos?
All the videos on Twitter.
Well, all the videos on Twitter?
Yeah, hold on.
Are you guys going to really sit here and tell me that the attack on January 6th didn't happen, that the violence, the bludgeoning of the police officers didn't happen because of some bullshit on Twitter? Here we go.
It's not, oh my God. I'm sure Vinny's going to set him straight here, but it blows my mind how willfully ignorant these people are. Tucker Carlson has released a lot of tapes that were unseen for a long time, and we've seen bits and pieces of them on Twitter for a really long time. But after seeing the Tucker Carlson clips that he released, there might have been some violence from some people. Normally, when you get a large group of people together, there's going to be some bad apples in the group. That's just how the law of averages works. But there might have been some instances of that, but the majority of the instances around the whole J6 situation was, the videos show this, the security footage from the Capitol shows this, that they were led around like they were on a tourist, like they were on a tour of the place. They were shown around. You know, people like the security guards were going up to different doors and seeing if they were unlocked so they could allow them to keep going deeper into the Capitol. Like, that's what the videos show. That's that's an objective look, zoomed out look at the situation. And to say that that is worse than 9/11, dude, your brain is completely rotten.
Steve, I'll give you my opinion, and then you could talk. First of all,
it's not an opinion.
Hold on.
It's not an opinion. It's a bullshit conspiracy.
All right, time out. I'm not only a fucking New Yorker, I'm a veteran. For you, time out. Yeah. My sister's a veteran. My brother's a veteran. He's a veteran. For you to listen to me, for you to say that January 6th compared to 9/11 that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Hold on. Let me finish. Number one, it wasn't an attack. It looked like a guided tour. Okay? That's what it...
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Are you? Yeah, you ain't right. I am. It was a guided tour.
A guided tour.
You think
a guy beating the cops?
What?
With all the violence?
Who died? Ashley Babbitt, a veteran, they shot. The Capitol Police shot her ass. Where the is that guy getting in trouble? You're just upset because Donald Trump said, you know what, they probably cheated. You don't think he has a leg to stand on that they did it in 2016? Hillary, Russia, FBI, colluded. Are you how are we crazy, Steve? How are we crazy?
Which, by the way, if your stance, like if Steve Schmidt's stance here that he was telling Patrick Bet David and the other guests of the PBD podcast, like Vinny here, if his stance was there was no foul play in the 2020 election, that's fine. You can have that stance. I might disagree. Vinny might disagree. Patrick Bet David might disagree. But that's fine. You can have that stance. That is a stance that I can see yourself logicking yourself into. That's how I kind of gauge these people. Can I see a way for you to logic yourself into the stance that you have? I cannot see any world where someone can logic themselves into January 6th was worse than 9/11 and be 100% serious about it. There's no logic that you can logic yourself into that stance, that position. There's just no way. So like that is just completely, this guy's completely off his rocker. Like I said, if his stance was there was no foul play in the 2020 election, that's fine. We might all disagree with you, Vinny, PBD, me, we might all disagree, but I can see yourself logicking yourself into that stance. This 9/11 wasn't as bad as J6 stuff that's insane. Absolutely clinically insane.
I mean, this is going to be on video, so I mean, you're going to speak for yourself.
No, I'm going to speak for myself. Yeah. 19 terrorists took 4 commercial flights, crashed them in the World Trade, crashed them in the Pentagon, did all that. Yeah. Okay, and you're saying that, and we've lost, by the way, for how many decades of wars, we've lost over 1 million people from the Iraq War, which is all bullshit, all a lie. 1 million people.
We lost 1 million Americans in the Iraq War?
No, we lost. We killed people because we said there was weapons of mass destruction. We lied. Bush lied. Oh yeah, there's weapons of mass destruction there. There was no weapons of mass destruction, but we were like, oh, we changed the name since we're here, enduring freedom, which is bullshit. Okay, so as a veteran, as an American, as a New Yorker, for you to say that one day compared to that is absolutely absurd, Steve. I understand that you love this country. I'm not questioning your patriotism, but the hate for one guy because he loves this country so much
is absolute bullshit.
He does.
God, you're a fool.
How am I a fool? How am I a fool? You have Trump derangement syndrome. You just hate him. You just hate the guy.
You are taken in by a con man.
No, I'm not. I guess
he
what?
Loves
I'm
the
not a
country.
Republican.
Trump
I'm not
loves
a
the
Democrat.
country.
You damn right he does. He's been saying it since the 80s, 90s on Letterman and all these shows.
He's a guy on September 11th who went down, said he was down there. He wasn't. He's a guy who called in on a radio. He said, now I got the tallest building in Lower Manhattan. He's a guy who lied about Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City. He is a con man. He is a liar. And that you have fallen for this bullshit.
I'm not falling for anything, Steve.
Please.
Steve, how about this, Steve? It didn't happen.
It's funny how he is saying that Vinny and Patrick Bet David are the ones that are falling for stuff, when he is the one that can see I mean, we have a ton of footage now of what happened on that day on J6. You can look at all of those tapes and you still call Vinny a nut for saying that it looked like a guided tour. I don't pre-watch these videos. I said the same exact thing before Vinny said it. I'm sure most of you watching this video, let me know in the comments if you disagree or agree, would also say the same thing. They looked like a guided tour. And that was a shocking piece of footage when I saw it. You know, I knew it was never as bad as everybody made it out to be, as the woke media made it out to be. But when I saw Tucker Carlson release that footage, I was like, how can anyone even ever call this a terrorist attack or anything ever again? It's so obviously that they were let in and shown around. It's on tape. We saw it. You know, you can show it to you right now if you want.
Have to be Trump. What I love is that this dude sacrificed everything to pull back a curtain and tell the regular American.
What did Donald Trump sacrifice?
Time out. Guess
what?
what?
Did Donald
His
Trump
name,
sacrifice?
his career, he can go to prison. He can go to prison for what you guys want for the rest of his life.
Probably shouldn't have broken the law.
No, Steve, you know what it was? Steve,
Broken
don't
the
give me this breaking the law
Espionage
bullshit.
Act,
He pulled open a curtain and let all of us see. The regular people, look at what these assholes are doing. Fake news, fake this.
Are you talking about the shower curtain where he had the country's most sensitive secrets?
Oh, you mean no? What about but Biden doesn't bother you? But Biden doesn't bother you?
Right,
they all take documents home. They all take. Hey, hold on. Were we in better?
Yeah, this guy's an absolute idiot. To say that Donald Trump didn't sacrifice anything. I mean, the guy was millimeters away from getting assassinated just a couple weeks ago. And like Vinny is saying, he can go to prison. Like he was one of the most liked people in America. He was in all these rap music videos. Like people mentioned him in rap songs all the time. He was in movies and you know, cameoed in movies over and over again. And then he put all that on the line to run for president and become one of the most hated people in the history of the United States. You know, people feel strong. I have not witnessed, and I'm only 25, so I haven't lived that long. I have not witnessed somebody take over the minds of such a large group of people filled with hatred toward the singular person like they have with Donald Trump. And it wasn't like that before. You know, he could have just died, you know, grew old and died as one of the most liked people, you know, one of the most, you know, cameoed in all these movies, one of the most famous rich people of all time. Instead, he put that all on the line, including his life. Like I said, millimeters away from being assassinated just a couple weeks ago, and decided to run for president to try and improve the country. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole debate. I think this Steve Schmidt guy is an absolute lunatic. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Patrick Bet David versus Steve Schmidt, and also Vinny from the PBD podcast going after him as well. Let me know what you think about this whole PBD versus Steve Schmidt situation.